Hi there, it's Charlene Sinjenko from Powerhouse. I'm here today with Bob Hoy from IGA and Gibsons. Hi, Bob.
Hi, how are you, Shar?
I'm really good. Thanks so much for having a bit of a conversation today. We are actually interviewing local business folks, business owners, and entrepreneurs leading up to the Sunshine Coast Business Recovery Forum on June 25th. And I'm really grateful for Bob to just join me for a bit of a conversation today. And I wanted to kick it off, if you don't mind, just reflecting a little bit on what life has been like for you in the past 90 days.
Well, Shar, it's been a bit of a blur, I'm not going to lie, but we've certainly learned a lot, and I'm proud to be able to stand here and say I made it through the last 90 days.
The past 90 days have been a blur and a whole lot of pressure as an entrepreneur, like I think you've never experienced before. That's what you mentioned, and I wondered if you could kind of speak to some of those different pieces coming together.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's been a lot of pressure. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I've seen a lot of things, dealt with a lot, but this was very unique. Obviously, it's a pandemic, and you don't know how you're going to react and what you're going to have to do. It was, I mean, a ton of pressure because number one, you're trying to make sure your staff is safe. Number two, you're trying to make sure your customers are safe. And in my case, you're trying to provide goods and services in a timely fashion when at times there wasn't a lot of it. So we had to move, we had to pivot our business very, very quickly. We had to do things we wouldn't normally do and set up procedures, protocols, etc. in a very, very short period of time to get through especially the first 3 weeks, but the last 90 days for sure. I would say it's been an incredible experience. I would say I've met a lot of incredible people. There's a lot of local businesses that we collaborated with, and we did a lot of excellent things. We pulled things off that I never thought we would be able to. Mm-hmm. I can also say in the last 90 days, I have a new mindset that there isn't anything I can't do. People say all the time, and go, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do that. I feel like I could do just about anything right now. So, and the help of a lot of other people in the community was a major, major factor. So to elaborate on that a little bit, fellow business people, we got together in time of crisis, and we really pulled together and we got things done. We set up a delivery service. Over 4,000 meals were produced for people that not necessarily could afford it. I mean, we set up an email system, online system, sold Girl Guide cookies. I mean, 144 cases is pretty incredible. The way the community came together was utterly impressive. So, so it's been a journey the last 90 days for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I think a couple of the things that I certainly have appreciated about you and Sue and the IGA team have been, the ability to be able to order our groceries online. Your team has been absolutely amazing. I also really appreciated, I guess because I'm such a communicator, but I really appreciated hearing from you on a regular basis. And I think part of that pressure, I just had that feeling like, okay, Bob's got this. And maybe that was unfair of me to feel that way. But when I get your email updates or your Facebook updates, I was so grateful to just sort of, I don't know, be connecting at that level and just understand the process you were going through. Wondered if you could speak about just how important communication was to you.
Yeah, so when things started happening and we started locking down, so to speak, the grocery store, and then we started seeing supply dwindle, I would say within 36 hours, I just made a decision. I'm going to have to tell people, like, I've got to communicate. I could see the chaos within not only the staff, but also the customers. Their eyes were as big as saucers. So I started doing Facebook updates. I didn't know if they would be pertinent, anybody would even read it, but it ended up being an invaluable communication tool. to people. I was able to say, look, we've got rice coming this day. It's okay, calm down. We'll make sure we've got flour coming the next day, or hey, we've got a shipment of toilet paper. And we were able to say, look, our new policy on this is, we're going to have lines on the floor. So when people came in, they were able to say, this is what we expect out of IGA. This is what they're going to have. And I think it was just a very, very effective tool for the community. Didn't realize people would like it as much, but they did, and that's fantastic. So, and we've continued it on a weekly basis. So communication to me was the number one thing that we did right during this pandemic.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I really did appreciate it. So we're sitting here now at the middle of June, and we've heard that our province is opening up a bit more now, and so now we're pulling together with some community partners, and we're convening the business owners and entrepreneurs from the Sunshine Coast for an online conversation about the next 90 days. And I'm just wondering if there's anything in particular that comes up for you now when you look forward 90 days that, in your own business or for the community, like what kind of things do you hope we can, be mindful of, or, even why it's important to come together for something like this?
Well, what I would say is the next 90 days are crucial. The next 90 days on the Sunshine Coast, if your business isn't open yet, you really have to get it open. Dr. Bonnie Henry has said, look, we're going to start opening things up. If you're able to travel, you're going to do that within the province. There's no better or more beautiful spot to travel to than the Sunshine Coast. So I think it's vital that we all get together, talk about reopening our Sunshine Coast with policies, protocols, procedures. We're there to support each other, which is very, very important. We're there to collaborate with others, people that have done it, people that have had pitfalls, people that have had successes. We need to get together as a group, and we need to talk about it. It's vitally important. There is nobody out there that understands an entrepreneur more than an entrepreneur. So as much as a customer will come in and say, hey, how you doing? We can't have that conversation as well as I can with somebody else who's in business. So I think what's going to happen on June 25th is vital. It's going to support everybody, whether I can tell my stories, whether people can ask me questions, or I just think it's very, very important. It's a great thing to do.
Yeah, I agree, and I really do love that. Nobody understands an entrepreneur like an entrepreneur, and I know there's definitely been times where I've, taken you for a coffee or come in for a coffee and bent your ear a little bit, because it's really important that we understand that we're in this together, and we're all just trying to figure this out. We're all trying to do the best we can for our families, for each other, for the community, and I think that starts back with like you said, just coming together for a conversation and understanding that you're not alone in all this, and seeing what other people have to say and what you can learn and share.
And we will all be successful based on each other's success. And there's nothing more that I want than to see a restaurant do really well right. There's nothing more that I want than to see a kitchen store do really well right. Because we all feed off each other. And that's what's going to bring this economy back. So I know personally, I'll obviously be there on the 25th. I want to be there and support anybody who's opening and willing to do whatever it takes to help with their success, because ultimately it will also help mine. So let's get everybody up and running in a positive way, and let's collaborate and see what we can do to pull this together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, and also for being part of June 25th at the Sunshine Coast Business Recovery Forum. Thanks for the conversation today, Bob.
Thank you, Cheryl. All right, take care.
Take care.